And we will continue to advocate for lasting negotiating peace between the Jewish and democratic state of Israel and the Palestinian people. The United States is committed to Israel's security, full stop, and a negotiated two-state solution remains, in our view, the best way to ensure Israel's security and prosperity for the future and give the Palestinians the state to which they are entitled.
All right, well, as you can see there, that was President Biden at the UN General Assembly yesterday calling for a two-state solution between Israel and the Palestinians. And just a few hours ago, Prime Minister Yair Lapid expressed his support for a Palestinian state, but he emphasized that such an agreement would be under the condition that it would not become a haven for terrorists. This all comes as Israeli security forces are on high alert ahead of the Jewish high holidays following a wave of terrorist attacks in the Jewish state. Now, it's important to note that the two-state solution that Biden is advocating has long proved to be an abject failure. Every Israeli attempt to offer land concessions has been met by terror waves. So is Biden's two-state solution the way to go? Let's ask best-selling author and the editor-in-chief of All Israel News, Joel Rosenberg. Joel, welcome back to the show. I got to ask, you know, the Palestinians, the Palestinian Authority, to be clear, claims that they oppose terrorism, and that would seemingly, you know, assuage the prime minister's concerns. Yet they participate in a pay-for-slay program where they offer rewards and pay Palestinians and their families who kill Jews. And on Tuesday, the U.S. State Department announced $64 million in additional aid to the UN for so-called Palestinian refugees, bringing the total support in 2022 to $344 million. As you may recall, the UN cut all the funding to the UN Refugee Agency under the Trump administration because it called it irredeemably flawed. So if the U.S. is spending millions of dollars to kind of support that program, are we in effect kind of supporting the policies of the Palestinian Authority?
Well, this is the problem, Sean, and great to be with you, and happy birthday tomorrow. And but
Thank
look, we've got a serious problem here. Biden should stick to how well he's handling inflation, you know, and I think, and maybe handling gas prices and Ukraine. Like, that's where he's doing really, really well. The idea of trying to create a Palestinian state right now is kind of ridiculous. Now, look, I love Palestinian people. I'm an Israeli who loves Palestinians. I want the best for them. But a new poll out tonight, Sean, 60% of Palestinians don't want a two-state solution, okay? They haven't abandoned their desire to have it all. And yes, the Biden administration may be in danger of actually breaking the law. There is a law that a Colorado Congressman, Doug Lamborn, led on several years ago, which made it illegal to give aid to the Palestinian Authority, which is considered by most Palestinians as corrupt, if they continue with this pay-for-slay policy, where they literally pay prisoners and their families for the number of Israeli Jews that they've killed. It's a reprehensible policy, and the Biden administration seems to be trying to circumvent it.
So, well, first of all, I know it's late there in Israel. So first, thank you for staying up with us. But two, you are in Israel. So just so we're clear, we're dealing still here with record high inflation, and gas prices did tick back up. Right. So I'm not really sure that you want those policies guiding the way. This is not an administration that's got a lot of positives going for it. I do want to ask, though, if it's not a two-state solution.
So creating a new failed state in the region doesn't seem like something they should add to the agenda. That's just me.
I agree. No, I get your point. What is the solution? I feel like at the end of the Trump administration, we were moving in the right direction with the Abraham Accords, getting people at the table one by one, slowly committed to peace, and then isolating those who didn't want peace. What is the? I mean, that actually, we had Jared Kushner on the show not too long ago, and he was talking about the fact that, like, one of the biggest problems is everybody keeps trying to do the same bad thing over and over again, thinking somehow it's going to work at some point. And that was why, frankly, they were successful with the Abraham Accords, is they thought outside the box.
Well, that's right. Jared Kushner and President Trump and the whole team pursue what I call the George Costanza strategy. If you know the Seinfeld episode, you know that one day Jerry said, look, George, if everything you do is wrong, then the opposite would have to be right. So the Trump team studied everything that had been done for 75 years to try to make peace between Israelis and Palestinians and said, let's do the opposite. Let's stand more strongly with Israel. Let's recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Let's offer a Palestinian state to the Palestinians, but let's watch them see if they say yes, which they did not. Nor did they say yes in 2009 when Netanyahu offered a Palestinian state. Nor did they say yes in 2008 when Ehud Olmert, our prime minister, offered them a state. Nor did they say yes in 2000 when our prime minister Ehud Barak offered them a state. Nor did they say yes in 1967 when Israel offered them a state, or in 1947 when the whole world offered them a state. They keep saying no. So the question is not when will Israel make concessions. The question is when will the Palestinian leadership lay out a plan that at least you could discuss. They've literally never laid out a plan. Again, and who is suffering most? Not Israelis. It's Palestinians who are suffering most from a corrupt Palestinian Authority, the terrorist Hamas organization in Gaza. 73% of Palestinians in the West Bank want Mahmoud Abbas, the Palestinian president, to leave because he's serving the 17th year of his 4-year term. So we really have to focus on how can you help Palestinians, at least economically, if they're being controlled by terrorists on one side and a corrupt government that won't change on the other side. It's really, how do we show compassion, not what concessions can the Israelis make? We've offered it for 75 years, and they just keep saying no.
Yeah. No, good point. Joel, I know that security has been heightened over there in Israel as we head into the high holidays. I want to, on behalf of the show, wish you, your family and friends the highest degree of safety, and I hope that we can pause as you all head into the high holidays there and maybe find that time to reflect and to head into a place of peace. So thank you for staying up with us, and I wish you the best as you head into the holidays.
I'm your Middle East correspondent when you need it. And we've got this new show coming out, the Rosenberg Report on TBN, October 6th, right after the holidays, where we'll deal with these issues week by week. I'm looking forward to learning what you do, primetime television.
Well, I'm learning more every day. Thanks for being with us, Joel. Appreciate it.
Great to be with you. Thanks, Sean.
All right. Well, coming up, major credit card companies are planning on using new merchant codes to track gun stores. We've got Florida's chief financial officer on deck to discuss what he's doing to fight back in his state. Stay with us.